Well, good morning. This morning I'm reading from the book of Ecclesiastes, and I have to laugh this morning because I'm using a Bible reading schedule. And so I get up in the morning and I look at my Bible reading schedule, and I'm systematically reading through the Bible in different portions at one time. And on Friday mornings, I've been reading a few chapters out of Ecclesiastes each day. Well, it just so happens that today I'm reading chapters 7 and 8. And what's so interesting is that it says here, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Well, today's the day of my birth. Today's my birthday. And so it's kind of interesting, and it's also just a great reminder how the Lord is working in our lives. He's always teaching us something. Every time you pick up the Bible, He's going to teach you something. He's going to show you something. And it just so happens that today I read this little portion of Scripture right here, and so I'm hopefully got my ears and my heart open to what God has to say, and it looks like to me this is what He's saying. A good name is better than precious ointment. Now, precious ointment is like the perfume that Mary took and anointed Jesus with. Very expensive, a family heirloom, and it's one of those treasured things that a family might have. Well, a good name is more precious than that. In other words, a good name is something that all of us should desire, should want. It should be more precious to us than some kind of expensive gold or silver or something like that. And we should work hard to preserve a good name. In other words, we should have integrity, and we should deal honestly with people, and we should be loving and kind, and we should shoot square, and we should make our business deals on the up and up, and all of those kind of things. That's where a good name comes from. But it goes on to say the day of death than the day of one's birth. Now, that's always kind of bothered a lot of people, I think. Why is the day of your death better than the day of your birth? Well, everybody has a good name on their birthday, but how many people still have a good name on the day that they die? And that's the whole point. A long life lived well, lived for Jesus, is extremely valuable. And if we all start out with a clean slate, but then we have this life and our character to develop this name. And it is a blessing when a man or woman reaches the end of their life here on this earth, and they have a good name, a good reputation, and when their friends and their family gather to lay them to rest, that is the focus, is the good name that they have. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. You know, when you go to a funeral and you think back on someone's life, it makes you think, it makes you reflect. And that's what God in His Word is saying. Hebrews tells us in chapter 9, verse 27, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. All of us are going to face that day. There's no way to get around it. We're going to face that day. And we ought to live our lives so that when that day does come, our name is associated with Jesus. It's associated with us having a good character and integrity in our lives and a good reputation. It says there that the living will lay it to his heart. When you go and you go to the house of mourning and you mourn with a family that's lost a loved one, it makes you think. It makes you think about your own mortality, the fact that you're going to face death someday, and to ask the question, are you ready for that? Now, I can tell you this morning that I'm ready. I'm not, I don't want that right now in my life by any means, but I am prepared. And what does that mean? Well, it means that I know Jesus. It means that I have come to Him and I have confessed that I'm a sinner. I have received Him into my life. I believe He died on the cross for my sins. I believe He's raised from the dead. I believe He sits at the right hand of the Father in heaven to make intercession for me right now. And I trust Him. And when that day comes for me, I know that He's going to take me. And I'm so grateful for that. I hope that you know Him too. God bless you. Hope you have a great day.